Am I the a-hole for missing my brother's gender reveal? I don't think I'm but would like some input. I, F31, have a brother, M23, who is going to have his first baby. My family, meaning my mom, dad, sisters, my husband and myself, are all happy for him. We met up at my mom's house early September for Dad's birthday and he and his girlfriend were mentioning the upcoming gender reveal in October. I told him a specific date in October that I had already an event to go to. A friend of mine is celebrating her birthday by bar hopping downtown in a party bus. We are all going to share the cost since it was quite expensive. He assured me that it was going to be on a Sunday. Time skip to yesterday. He sent off the invitation to the gender reveal via our entire family's WhatsApp group chat and it was the exact day of the party. I responded by asking why was it on Saturday and that I had a previous commitment that I had RSVP to. His response was, I guess a party bus is more important than a gender reveal. I reminded him that we had already talked about it. My aunt chimed in reminding us that it is her and another cousin's birthday. He said that he will not change the date because some of his girlfriend's relatives are coming from other states. Will I be the if I miss his gender reveal? Am I the a-hole for making my sister choose between family and career? Pretty much the title. My younger sister is getting married. She is a content creator slash influencer slash vlogger slash whatever you want to call it. One time a few years ago she made a video with my kids at Disney. I gave her permission to post it. I felt really uncomfortable and violated on behalf of my kids afterwards with how many random strangers viewed and commented on my kids, even saying things like that my son is their favorite like he's a cartoon character, and said not ever again. My sister has been respectful of this for the most part. Occasionally she has tried to hint that such and such dance or prank would be so funny with them. She doesn't spend a lot of time around our kids though, because we live in different states. Here's where the trouble comes in. My sister is getting married. Companies are paying her to use certain items and she is also getting discounts from some vendors. Obviously this involves quite a lot of the wedding and the lead up to it needing to be posted online. My sister had asked that my oldest daughter, 10F, be a flower girl slash junior bridesmaid. Before we asked our daughter if she wants to do it, we asked my sister to confirm that our daughter won't be present in any of the wedding content she posts online. My sister believes this is an unreasonable request. I said it's simple, just ask the videographer and her fellow content creator friends in the party not to film daughter and take photos with and without her. But my sister feels like this will lead to things looking weird and inorganic and that it's an unreasonable request for her videographer and her friends. We said even if he accidentally gets her they can blur her face, and it shouldn't be that hard to avoid pointing your phone at one specific person. She disagrees, so we said then unfortunately daughter will not be participating in the ceremony. My wife and I believe this should be easily doable and it shows that my sister at least partially wants my daughter involved simply because she wants a cute kid to be in the wedding content. However, my sister is framing it as us being terrible and forcing her to choose between her career and our family. The thing is that as I said she's not super close with our kids. She's great when she's here and it's not like I expect a 29-year-old to be overly invested with kids or anything, but it does feel pretty unauthentic to now claim they're so close that it would be heartbreaking if daughter wasn't in it. Am I the a-hole for not putting my wife's name on the house deed? She's my fiancée right now but the argument we're having is that once we're married, she wants her name on the house deed. Years ago, I bought several acres as soon as I could afford it. Back then it was part of a ranch surrounded by other ranches. The owner needed money so he parceled out this section and sold it to me. I built a small house on it and have lived in it ever since. Since it was originally part of a ranch, I did enough to legally keep it classified as a ranch so the property tax is extremely low. Over the years, companies started to move to the neighboring big city and land prices started to go up. Almost all of the ranchers sold their lands to developers so now there are huge houses surrounding mine. They start from $500,000 and go to several million. None of them sit on even an acre of land. My house is clearly the worst house around and I have no doubt it's bringing the value of nearby houses down. That's all happened before I met and dated my fiancée. Now that we're engaged, we're talking seriously about our finances and the only sticking point is the house. She wants her name on the deed once we're married because we'll be sharing our lives. Alternatively, she wants me to sell the house and we purchase a house together. I don't find either options attractive. In our state, whatever we bring to the marriage we take out. Since I will be bringing the house into the marriage, I can leave with it should things not work out. If I put her name on it, then she'll get half. If I sell the house, there's no way I'll be able to afford anything that's even close to what I have now. Not to mention our property tax will be several times higher. Then there's the drive time. My house is 30 minutes away from my work and 40 from hers. House prices has gone up so much that we'll have to move at least an hour away from our jobs. Like I said, we agreed with or compromised on everything else. This one issue is the only sticking point and it's becoming a big one. So much so that she brought her family into it. This weekend her father took me out to dinner to have a man-to-man talk. He told me that if we're going to join our lives, we have to join everything. He expects me to do the right thing if I want to join their family. So now it's her entire family on one side and me by myself on the other. Am I wrong to want to keep the house I built by myself to myself? Am I the a-hole for going on vacation without my husband? My husband, 32M, and I, 29F, planned a week vacation to New Orleans, in the US. We, but mostly I, have been planning this for months. Back in March, I told him I would plan most of it, where to go, and what to do. All he has to do was make sure he had the week off and buy the plane tickets. I spent the last few months researching what to do. I booked the hotel room, made reservations at places we wanted to try, I made a list of all the sites I wanted to see. Every few weeks, I would check in with my husband to see if he had asked off and bought the tickets yet. He would say he was waiting for the plane ticket prices to go down. 3 weeks ago, I reminded him again and he said he had got off of work for the days but had forgotten to get the tickets. He looked online and the tickets were close to $1,500/ticket. He said he was going to wait some more to see if they would go down. Last week, I asked if he had bought them yet and he said no. We looked again and the prices were still high. He said he wasn't willing to spend that much on them and asked how much money I would lose if I just canceled everything instead. He offered to have a nice staycation instead. I told him I was not willing to cancel everything because I spent so much time planning it. We argued and we didn't come to a conclusion. I wound up buying just one ticket for myself and when I flew out Saturday, I told him I was still going and he acted all surprised that I didn't want to stay home with him. I am in New Orleans now and he is blowing up my phone saying that I am an off for still going without him. He was trying to get a ticket to come too but I told him if he came, he is getting his own hotel room because this is now my vacation away from him. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister it's her fault her son is being bullied? My sister, 33F, has 2 sons, Bracken, 13M, and Neville, 11M. My husband, 24M, and I went to a basket raffle at our local library this past weekend, with my sister, Bracken, Neville, Bracken's girlfriend, 13F, and my sister's husband, 33M. This raffle is held every year and as many local businesses and organizations donate baskets to help raise funds for the library. There are all sorts of baskets from free messages to gift cards to sports jerseys and so much more. Bracken got some tickets for all of the sports-related ones. He plays baseball and has done this every year, and he's been pretty successful in the past. Bracken then went around with his GF. I was hanging out with my husband, sister and rest of the family while looking at the baskets, when Bracken and his GF came back to us. Shortly after this, while still looking at the baskets, we saw some Science Y baskets, with projects and books for kids and adults. This type of stuff is what Neville likes. It was going fine until in that section, they had a few baskets that were aimed at girls in science/STEM. When Neville saw the baskets, he called them stupid and started making some pretty awful comments about how girls are too dumb for science and that's why they needed special baskets. He made some more comments like, "This is why robotics club is all boys." My husband and I just dismissed it, but we could see a few people giving us looks, and Bracken made a comment telling Neville to shut his mouth. The raffle happened, Bracken won a lot, the rest of us didn't. On the car ride home, my hubby and I were asking each other where Neville could have learned that language and we were stumped. Last night, I got a call from my sister and she seemed stressed. She was telling me about how horrible Neville's first month of middle school was. She was telling me he was being targeted and bullied. I asked her to explain what happened, and she was just crying. I asked if she could give the phone to someone else. She gave it to Bracken, who told us that she wasn't telling the truth. He said that kids were mocking Neville for what he said at the raffle. Bracken admitted he was telling his friends about it, who then spread it around to the 6th graders. Some of the kids in Neville's grade were calling him creepy and weird, and were doing it to his friends as well, who defended his comments. My sister quickly grabbed the phone from him after. After she calmed down, she asked me what to do. I told her that this was on her and her fault for not correcting Neville's behavior. She said that she didn't know why he said it, and said that she can't just take away his phone or friends when I mentioned both as a possible source. She just doubled down and said she needed to teach Bracken and his friends not to gossip. I told her she was being ridiculous and hung up.